Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about writing book reviews and helping people decide whether or not a book would suit them. Whenever I write a review myself, I follow a specific template of points that I want to hit in my review that I just came up with myself, and I want to share this kind of template with you guys. I always try to be as objective as possible, so here we go. One thing that I do want to mention before we get started is that whenever I read a book, I keep tabs with me, and so this way I can mark specific moments or things that I want to mention in a review. I also keep a notebook with me and I write down. That sound was my cat almost falling off the closet. Anyway, so I use these colored tabs, and I also carry a notebook with me to write down things that I want to mention in a review. Good, so here are some questions that you can ask yourself when writing a review. Number one, the setting. Where does the story take place and how is it relevant for the story, or how does this setting impact your story? Is it important? Number two is the writing style, and this is something that is important for many people. It is the most important thing for me as a reader, because a story can be good, but when the writing style isn't my cup of tea, then I will probably not finish the book. So what do I ask myself about the writing style? One, is it descriptive or non-descriptive? Is it easy to read, or do you really have to focus? And is it dry or is it rather flowery? Number three, the pacing. Is it a fast-paced or a slow-paced story? The characters. Is it a character-driven story? How many characters do we follow? How many main characters do we have? And how many different perspectives are we following? What are the point of views? And do the characters change along the way? Number four, you can talk about the world building. Is there a lot of detail, and has there been a lot of thought about setting up the world, or is it especially character driven? Number five, the genre. So you can describe the genre of the book in your own words, because oftentimes books get pushed into a certain box to fit in, and we all know that the genre, whenever we read a book and it is marked as, for example, fantasy, and we end up reading the book, I oftentimes feel like, okay, this doesn't really fit the box they put the book in. And so it can be very useful to other readers to describe how you experience the genre of the book. For example, when you're reading a fantasy book and there are a lot of romance things going on, and it feels to you like this is very much a romance book instead of a fantasy book, then it might be a good idea to let other readers know, because when a book is romance heavy, and for example you don't like to read romance heavy books, then this reader knows that the book probably won't be his or her cup of tea. Which leads me to number six, romance. You can describe how romance heavy the novel was and how you experienced the relationships between the characters. Number seven, the vibe. Was it creepy? Was there a gothic and dark atmosphere? Was it uplifting or romantic? It can be useful to let other readers know the atmosphere of the book. Number eight, themes. So you can talk about the theme of the book. Good versus evil, coming of age, religion, racism, feminism, love, friendship, compassion. All these things you can mention in your review. Number nine, how does the author handle conflict? And number 10, you can talk about the plot. Do they go back and forth in time, or is it a linear timeline? How is the plot worked out? Were there a lot of different plot twists, and so on? Now, if you want to get a little deeper into analyzing the novel you just read, you can also ask yourself the following questions. How does a novel start? You can look at the first line or the first several lines of a novel, the setup, and you can try to figure out if the author made any promises to you. So now that you've read the novel, do you feel like when you reread the first lines that there was some promise, from the author to the reader. The second thing you can do is to compare the book to other books in its genre and figure out if it stands out and how it stands out. This is a template that I use for my own book reviews and for the videos of the book reviews that I make. Some things to keep in mind when you write a book review: these are written in the present tense. Something else you can do in your book review is to give examples. For example, when you are writing about the writing style of the author, you can give an example by using a quote from the book, and in this way illustrate what you mean. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you have anything to add, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.